Time now for the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford. After the trading deadline, obviously it's hard to lose players, but you know you're gaining for the future. Always a tough one for the manager, though, because those are some tough conversations you got to have with guys that you really care about.
Yeah, I think you said it correctly in terms of them being tough conversations. Anytime you're, whether it's trading a player, sending a player out, making a player, uncomfortable. They're definitely uncomfortable conversations. But when you trade somebody, you're obviously you're not ending a relationship. You're just changing the relationship.
True.
And for Mason, JP, and Miggy, all three of those guys, I've had great relationships with them. I imagine I'll still continue to have a different relationship from afar, but one that I care about each individual and their success. And, obviously it was a tough day yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt. And JP Sears been here for a while, right? And we came over from the Yankees, and he's been nothing but steady. And obviously Mason Miller was so dynamic. And as you mentioned, Miguel Andujar was just a great stick and a great leader in the clubhouse for you. But things change in our game, and you're looking at the future now. And we've already seen Leo Vries step up in Lansing. He played last night. He's playing today again for the Lugnuts. And this is a special talent at 18 years old. Like if he was in our country and he was in the actual draft, he would be a top 5 pick, if not the first overall pick. Talk about this 18-year-old that you're getting, because he was untouchable. You had AJ Preller, the general manager of the Padres, telling everybody, like Boston wanted him, all these teams wanted him, untouchable until Mason Miller was brought up. So tell us what the A's are getting with this looks like could be a superstar young 18-year-old.
Oh, I think you described him really well. But the description in terms of talent, I can expand on just in a day knowing the drive that this young man has. So yesterday he was obviously contacted in the morning and told he was being traded to the Athletics. And within 2 hours, he had his bags packed. His car was at the gas station. When we contacted him to make him aware that he was going to Lansing, he was like, "I'm filling my car with gas. It's a 2-hour drive. Make sure the manager has me in the lineup." So that says a lot about this young man, the drive he has to go along with the talent that we all obviously have been reading about and have been watching. And like you said, he went out, led off, I think got a hit, and made an unbelievable fearless catch going out into center field over his head with center fielder coming full speed that he has never played with. All of those intangibles, all those things that you look for in the makeup of a player, he has right now, and that's special at 18.
Some people have projected that he was potentially going to make the Padres at some point next year, if not probably be there in 2027. It's tough to put projections on an 18-year-old, but I don't think he's going to be down there long. And what we have seen now with Kurtz and Jacob Wilson getting here fast, are you going to be shocked if he's here sooner than people think?
Well, I think, this is, like you said, he's an 18-year-old kid that obviously didn't go through a college experience. So the maturation process from certain levels of, dealing with failure or dealing with off-the-field distractions, I mean, those things take time. But the talent is there. The talent continues to show that he can, play, obviously, at the high A level at 18. And I loved your opening in terms of where he would be slotted in the draft. You look, there was 3 high school shortstops that were taken, I think, in the first 15 picks of the draft this year. And, the Holiday kid was probably the first I think he was the first shortstop taken. I think this kid would have been right there with Holiday, in terms of that area to be selected. And so I wouldn't be surprised from the skill set, the talent level for him to have an accelerated path, but still he's 18, he's a prospect, and he still has a lot of challenges in front of him.
Luis Morales, we've heard so much. He actually just pitched here for the Aviators against the River Cats. He's now coming up, obviously very familiar with the ballpark. Talk about this new weapon that you're going to have, another top prospect that's coming up for the Athletics.
Yeah, a top prospect that we didn't, obviously think that he'd touch us this year. We felt there would be an opportunity maybe at the end of the year with what's transpired. He's getting a great chance to come up and spend 2 months with us and, learn how things are done at the big league level, learn the preparation, learn the, just how to go about your day. And for Luis, this is a kid that's traveled from Cuba, obviously. His journey's been pretty long. It's been, there's been a lot of challenges through his journey to get where he's at. And I'm sure today is one of the best days of his life, in terms of accomplishing a goal that he set out a long time ago to do.
As you mentioned, you got to have a lot of respect because the way that he got here, just the way, the Cuban players have to get here. It's you want to talk about having to grow up fast as a young man.
Yeah, the Cubans definitely are more mature. That for sure. The life experiences that they go through, the challenges and the adversities that they face to get out of that country, to be able to, have this opportunity to play Major League Baseball. They seem to be more seasoned and advanced in that way.
I know a lot of things are fluid right now with losing JP Sears out of the rotation. Do you have an idea how you're going to replace him here in the next 51 games?
Well, we definitely have options. And like we talked about, JT Ginn has moved into the rotation out of the bullpen. You look at Perkins, who's a kid that was in the rotation in AAA. We brought here. We've used him in ways out of the bullpen pretty consistently, multiple inning guy. So he still has some length. It would be a build-up process for Perk, and that's definitely being talked about. Giving him a chance to go into the rotation. But like you said, Luis Morales has been a starter throughout the season. You also have as Walabito, who's a long guy in the pen right now, who hasn't seen a lot of work, but another guy that can step in and fill that rotation spot. So we do have options, and we'll weigh those and see how we proceed forward. But right now, I would say Perkins is probably at the top of the list.
Yeah, I love JT Ginn, Perkins, so similar bodies, thick, down below, strong kids, and look forward to them being in the rotation, hopefully, for a long, long time. And then the question is, how are you going to close games out? Is this going to be matchups, or do you see one guy maybe could emerge, someone you really trust?
Well, I think Kelly's done a nice job. And for Michael, he's got a little bit more experience than others down in the bullpen. I mean, Alvarado, Elvis has done a nice job. We've kind of brought him along really well. He's had a lot of confidence, a lot of success over the last few outings for him. He's a guy that's closed games in AAA. And then Newcomb has been throwing the ball extremely well. There was a lot of interest in Nuke as well, over the deadline. But I've been really impressed with him. Right, left doesn't seem to matter. He's using that backdoor sweeper really well. He's using the sinker really well, and he's elevating some four-seamers. He's got velo that's up from 94 to 98 now, which, has been impressive.
You mentioned Alvarado. Like, when we first saw him, kind of all over the place. And now and I can tell you're gaining trust by we're starting to see how you use him. And when you see somebody who it's effortless, it looks like 98 to 100 miles an hour. Like if he's able to throw strikes, his stuff looks like it could be absolutely dominant as he continues to grow. You see, strespecially as he grows mentally, you could see him as a potential closer, correct?
Yeah, I think there's that future. The strike throwing is his biggest thing. It's free bases that usually kill him. So we'll have to just keep an eye on that. It's tough when you're sending a guy out in the ninth inning, that has history of walking hitters. There's a lot more anxiety in the ninth than there is in the sixth or the seventh. So, we'll look at those options. Another kid that we called here today from the Miller trade. I probably will butcher his first name right now. I'm going to try it though. Edwarniel.
You're close.
Edwarniel Nunez. So Noonie. We'll go Noonie. He's got an electric arm. This kid's up to 99. He's got a 88 to 90 mile an hour slider. He's pitched a few innings with the Padres. He spent most of his time in AAA, but another electric arm. So there's some velocity down in that bullpen right now that we haven't had maybe in the past. You got Morales that can throw 98 to 100. You've got this Nunez kid that can go up to 98, 99. You've got Alvarado down there throwing 100. Even for Kelly, he's touched 98 recently. The ball's coming out of his hand really well. And Newcomb's also got some velo.
Newcomb's
so there's
been dynamite.
There's some velo down in the bullpen, and now it's just about settling in, finding their roles, and for me to help them with that success.
Yeah, it's been great watching Newcomb. And you can tell the confidence you're getting in when it's like, hey, 2 innings, I don't care, it's right or your lefties. You feel like you can get anybody out. He's been a lot of fun to watch. He's just been absolutely electric. On an injury note, just how tough was it for Jacob Wilson, because he tried to battle through it, right? It's just it's tough to live with that kind of pain.
Yeah, it's a hand is pretty much, we don't think of these as really, really valuable, but they are, because when you hold a baseball bat,
you realize
to try to hold a baseball bat, it takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of hand strength to get that bat through the zone, to hit a moving baseball, and when it doesn't feel right, it impacts performance. So, for both Max, for Muncy, for Wilson, both guys with hand injuries, we're hopeful that we can get these guys back sooner than later. And obviously for Denzel Clark, Denzel will hit on the field today, which is a good sign. We'd like to see Denzel back just from a development standpoint.
Yeah, just how much, I got a chance to talk to Muncy, and he thinks he's going to be back relatively soon. Just how important is it for the young guys to at least finish out playing the season?
Not just for young guys, for any player that's on the IL right now, it's really, really important for them to try to get a couple weeks of baseball in prior to the off season, and just for their confidence really to go into an off season where they finished out playing. It relieves a lot of anxiety about how they come out and how they come to spring training.
All right, let's end on this. Will you address the team? Do you do it individually? Will you mention it? Like, how do you address right after the trade deadline?
There's nothing really needed to be said. This group knew, that there was an chance that we would move some guys. I think that the nucleus in that room is still pertains to the offense and to the group that's led us for this season. So, the bullpen, these guys down there, with Mason being removed, they know they're going to have to fill different roles. So there's not a lot to be said. We're going to continue to move forward. We're just coming off a great series win against Seattle, 6-4 in 10 divisional games that we knew we needed to play well in, and could have been better, but at that point, 6-4 in division was pretty good. So now we got to focus on the Diamondbacks this weekend, and we're off to DC and Baltimore.
Correct. Well, next time we talk to you, be on the road. Appreciate you coming on. Obviously not easy after the trading deadline. It's the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford.